does God play a role in the decisions you make as a lawmaker?
Well, I think so. I hope so. But I don't lead with God. But I was forged by a Roman Catholic upbringing, so I am, a spiritual person, raised at a time when the Catholic Church was run by a bunch of good Jesuits who told us that it was important to think about Jesus in terms of love and doing good things for the less fortunate. So in that sense, I think I was forged in a positive way by the Holy Roman Catholic Church. And I went to Catholic school for 8 years, and then I couldn't stand it anymore. We had to go to church on Fridays, and then I didn't give me a pass. I had to go to church again on Sundays with my Mexican-American mother, who was very adamant that I go to church. So, I think that that ritual and the routine of the Catholic Church was good for me. The discipline that was instilled in me was good for me. And I think, most importantly, just knowing how important it is to do good things, and when you can, do good things for who aren't as blessed as you are is a part of who I am. But do I think I have a special line to Jesus? No. Do I talk about it a lot? No. I don't think I should talk about it a lot. I think, I think it's just really about, having a good, solid underpinning. So I do credit religion with and religious principles with forging the woman that I am.
But it's a private thing.
It's a private thing. I've always been a little bit suspicious of people who are so religious that they feel like they have to talk about it all the time, and suggest that they have some kind of special fine-tuning in to a higher power that the rest of us do not. I think we're all trying to do good things, but I do not lead with it. I don't think it's my role to lead with religion. It's my role to try to do good things and be a good legislator.
What are some of the decisions, if any, standout positions you've taken on bills where you turn to your faith for the answer?
Well, today would be one of those days. Today we may or may not be voting on a bill that would turn back gay marriage in the state of Texas, despite the Supreme Court that's, we think, about to legalize gay marriage in the United States of America. So the extent to which I lean on faith, it's simply to say, give me patience and give me wisdom and help me be a good person.
What would you say to someone who reaches a different conclusion based on their definition of God?
I think we're always challenged. There's 150 of us on the House of Representatives, and if there's the most striking thing I've learned is people can tell you that you're going into a soup mix with 149 other people who are not like you, but until you're in there, you don't really get it. You don't see how different they are. So, this is my first session, and I think over the course of time, you learn to accept the differences and not take it personally and move beyond it. So that's I'm doing the best I can to not let these issues be personal and respect their view and their belief in what's important in the Bible and the teachings of Jesus. But I was raised a different way, and my Jesus is different, and I hope they respect that too.
With the same-sex marriage debate, what do you make of that? Do you plan to file any amendments or be a voice on that today?
I think it's incumbent upon me to fight that bill to the extent that I can. But I'm not just the only one who's doing it. I have many of my colleagues who are looking out for me. They know it's an emotional day. So I don't feel alone. I feel supported, and there'll be many of us who are challenging that. And I think that's why we're here. You have to have debate, whether it's in committee or on the floor, and that's what this is all about. So I will go to the mat to make sure that my voice is heard, and when my voice is heard, my district voice is heard, and hopefully in a thoughtful way, and I won't start, crying like a baby, but just let folks know that there's a mainstream voice out there that is saying these are not priorities for the state of Texas. What are we doing for children, for pre-K, for elderly people who are struggling to live independently in their home? What are we doing about transportation and congestion? So those are big issues, and but when a colleague brings up a bill like we're going to have to deal with today, it has to be challenged. So I feel like I'm doing what I was meant to do.
It's a personal fight.
Invariably, it has to be. I wish it wasn't, but when someone is introducing anti-gay legislation and you happen to be gay, it's hard not to take it personally. But I'll find that right volume and response this evening if need be. My hope is that we don't have to go there, because Texas becomes a joke on a national scale, and relationships get damaged on the floor of the House that shouldn't have to be damaged. There's over 70 Republicans who have signed on to that bill in particular, and they've come up to me to say, they made me do it, I had to do it. For political reasons, they signed on to it. So if we don't have that debate, they'll get a pass as well. They won't have to take a record vote against LGBT families.
With different definitions of God, I'm just trying to be even-keeled here for everybody. How do various players, lawmakers of all faiths, define God? It's up to interpretation.
I don't know. I suppose, like me, they draw upon their upbringing. I wonder how they can be so conscious of Jesus when it's a discussion about gay marriage, but less conscious of Jesus by their own interpretation when we're talking about funding for foster kids. I see a huge imbalance there, and I don't get it, but this is the process that we have.
When law and constitution maybe conflict with your religious values, which ones win out?
Well, for me, it's easy. The way we get things done here is not by reading the Bible, it's by reading the rules of the floor of the House of Representatives. It's the process and the procedures, it's the committees, it's the hearings, the amendments. All of this is not of God. All of this is a man-made institution that's designed to do good things. For me, this is a secular environment that we're in. We're not a church. We're in the Texas State Capitol trying to do good things.
Some of your colleagues might disagree, as much as they invoke God, talking about a God-given right with open carry and things like that.
They might disagree, but if that's what gets them to sleep easily at night, that's their deal. The voters sent them here, and I have to deal with them, and they have to deal with me. So we're all in the soup mix together. My district, House District 50, is very diverse. There's a significant Muslim population there. There's a significant Asian population there of different faiths within that Asian community, and there's a significant number of people who have no faith. So ultimately, I have to be respectful of those differences, even more so than the differences that are on the floor of the House.
Well said. Anything else to add with regard to this topic related to this session? Being your first, and just what you've observed and how you and your colleagues feel business.
No, they may not get me as much as I don't get them. but that doesn't let us off the hook for being respectful towards one another, you know, friendly towards one another, and trying to do good things. And let's hope that we don't get so torn up over social issues that we lose sight of the fact that there are other big issues that we need to get done, like the budget, which we still have yet to do, and education reform, education funding. Those are all huge and important issues to the future success and whether we're going to continue to be proud to be from the state of Texas.
Representative, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.